Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So I am on, as you can see, it's kind of the start of the day, the normal time, one would say. But I was on about 7-8 hours ago, just to try to check things and what I could do the day before. So should be pretty quick on the dailies because obviously I just did things a few hours ago, so obviously we just have one crate of clothes. I moved all 8 of those on, so trailer had gotten moved over. They had let me know they were just had to do stuff for work yesterday and couldn't do stuff, so do whatever, try to find things. But when I got on, they had taken care of a lot. So let me take a peek over here to see if we have cotton again. We don't. Okay. So I know there was a bunch of cotton put in because the production had like over 100,000 last night. So let's check that first. Just since I'm over here, they turned off butter, and you know, we had talked about that, but they had gotten more milk in because it was red. So I think they want to focus on chocolate. And that may be because maybe their job here is chocolate. Now, they're short on sugar, but they don't grow sugar, so, or have a sugar mill that I know of. Obviously, sugar mill isn't one of their productions, so sugar's coming from somewhere else. We've got a little bit here that we can do, but yeah, cotton, I think it was at 116, so now it's down to 103. Obviously the clothes, so another pallet's going to pop out soon, but that doesn't matter. We'll just deal with it tomorrow, and then we're done with that. So other than the animals and feeding them, which again I did a good amount yesterday, so I think I'm okay. So yeah, chickens are obviously good. Pigs are doing well. So yeah, I think I'm okay on all of the stuff there. Just go jump over and do our normal, which is go ahead and get the pigs and move the eggs, feed the cows, but everybody's fed other than that, and the cows are easy because that's just the TMR. So alright, so we got our pigs, move that to the trailer. Alright. So the good news is, I have been told here, kind of gotten to the point that I was hoping that I'd be entrusted with getting involved in more stuff. So their harvest is starting. They think the barley is ready. And they said stuff is up by field 4. So I'll have to see where that is, but we'll worry about that when we get there. So again, we sell. So I'm not sure if the 28,000 is always going to be our thing. I would think that once it cycles through, we're going to be at 30, but again, obviously the pigs had maxed out at some point and had to skip that one day that moved me forward, but he said, hey, just keep selling. So maybe he's just like, it's better to have income than, say, skip a day, because again, like, if I suddenly get 30,000, I mean, yeah, it moves everybody up, but then to make up that, in essence, 1,700 or whatever it is, let's move this to the trailer. I just want to make sure I don't mess up because I'm chatting more deliberately. Yeah, I want to move animals because it's the last thing I want to do is get a little too automatic in my actions. Because there have been a couple times where suddenly I've been like selling directly to the animal dealer from there, which you can do, and they then transport it, but you're getting less money. I think it would only be like 22,000 instead of the 26, so it's not an insubstantial error. And obviously, again, I don't want to be making those kind of errors. Don't want to be making any kind of errors, if we're honest, but... So yeah, I'm on a little bit early. Actually, my phone died overnight, and I kind of got up per my body saying, "Hey, it's morning. Let's go." So I didn't really know what time it was. It was a little earlier than I thought, not by a lot, but that let me get on here earlier. So You know what? Let me go do the eggs, because I think this will take a little bit longer. So, and I had moved the eggs last night, but there weren't that many, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so we've got the eggs done. Not sure what that particularly is used for. I'm not sure what I'm looking at there, but we got that put in there. He may have gone ahead at some point and fed the cows. I don't think I remember leaving this quite this full, so there may have been some work there. I'm going to have to see if he's got more than one of these trailers, because if he does not, well, I may just have to do what I have to do. Alright, he does have a couple, so that's good. So basically he's got a barley and a sorghum harvest that can be worked on the farm at some point. Something's running, maybe it's that tractor. So let me turn that off, because yeah, it looks like it's like a bale spike, but I don't know if you can do things in a certain way or what. Alright, so yeah, he may have just the trailer sitting there, I don't know. Alright, well, I suppose we're gonna find out right now if this is something for the bales, because I'm gonna try to move some straw over to the TMR mixer, and he said the hay bales have a bit of a problem, but the other things do not. So let me see if I can do anything. Like, does this just grab these? Alright, so I have it theoretically unfolded, but I'm not sure. Let's see. No, it looks like... Oh, well, hold on. Let me go out here. So, if I lower this and then go forward, I should be able to then pick all of these up. There we go. And then I can back away, pick that up. So that's cool. This is, again, another tool I've never seen. So I like this thing, and I would imagine for, yeah, some giant farms like this, like that would be a really useful thing. Alright, I see the trailer covered with the lizard there, because those are the 150,000 liter trailers, and if I can just use that, that would be terrific. Alright, so the hay is empty there. This is the straw. And we'll see. I mean, it might just start to take it right away if it works. If it doesn't, you know, then we'll go from there. But let's see. Now we release it. There we go. So let's see what we look like. We can still do more, but that's like super easy versus what I would normally do, which would be grab the other loader and try to put them in, which was a bit of a challenge. Now there is like a big telehandler that showed up over on by the tailor shop, so that would certainly help. So yeah, I gotta remember when I do barley to drop the swath. So I'm just, like, again, a little bit nervous, because once again, he's entrusting me with this. It's extra pay possibility, which is what I wanted. But, you know, what I don't want to do is screw it up, and then he's like, yeah, I'll just hang on to the harvest myself. But I'm sure to some degree, this guy's just got some more challenges, because not everybody has the work from home option that allows me to periodically do some work on this stuff here while I'm kind of waiting for other things to come due. So trying to figure out if the straw over there is different. I mean, well, it's not different, it's straw. I know what I'm kind of thinking, because I do see, like, the whatchamacallit, the forklift, or whatever I was using over there. So there we go. Y. There we go. Alright. So that's good and full. We just need some hay. Whoops. I don't know. Whoops. I think I deactivated it by accident. Didn't want to do that. I ended up, my finger was in the wrong place. I'm like, I know something shifted, so let me take a look here. Yeah, that would have been a little disastrous if the TMR mixer stopped, so glad I figured that one out. Because now my question is, how high does this go? This might work. So I might be able to use... Alright, now that I know we have this, like, this is quite nice, so I'm gonna try. Let's turn on some lights. Let's see what we can make this place look like. It's like a Christmas tree. I love it. But yeah, rather than futzing around like a bale at a time, which is honestly what I was doing, like if I can do this, and heck, maybe I'll grab like 20 bales at a time or something. I don't understand why it's only grabbing 2 or whatever, but actually it's grabbing 4, so that's even... Oh no, I guess not. But still. You know, if I can do that, and that's why he... Not, you know, now this makes sense why he has stacks of 3. But I didn't realize we could do that, so there will be a little bit of cleanup I'm going to need to do. But at this point, like, you know, I'm within trigger land, and then I should be able to just... this is going to be tricky, but I should be able to just kind of drop these. And maybe I might have to kind of coax them into the bucket, so that probably now I've learned maybe not what I want, because they're just kind of hovering over there. I was hoping they would fall in, but clearly they're not. Let me see. Ooh. So, well, what I might need to do though is I might need to turn on the mixer. There we go. So now I think it's taking them slowly. Yeah, so you can see them filling up. I assume it's still taking that bale, but it was just getting into this, so we should get 24,000. So I'm going to assume at this point, because yeah, what I was doing is I was using the front loader of this thing, and that didn't work quite as nicely. So let's see, if I do this, I still might be able to do some stuff, because I might be able to like stack, you know, use this and then put it on top of the other and still come to the trailer with a stack of 3. I just don't know if it's going to be worth the effort to do that. So if I do this, what I probably ultimately need to do is figure out, alright, because that's that. Yeah, this just does the normal tip thing. But sometimes there's a way to use the keyboard to close it. I don't know, it doesn't look like I can, so I guess I'll just do what I can here. What is happening and why isn't it working now? Whoa, 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 whoa. Now it's doing it. Like, I think maybe I had lag and I didn't realize it. There we go. Alright. Well, that like totally botched me up. It might just be easier to pick stuff up and just go from there. So, let me see. Let me see what I get if I just do that. Looks like it's just going to grab... Whoa, no, 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 no. I do not want to suddenly dump more things. That would just be bad. Oy. This is going from bad to worse. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in, and then it should be okay now that that's running. Again, I might need to get in there, but you know, the hope is I drop it. Yeah, that should chew it up. So like this at this point is no better than the forklift, but once I get these up, then I'm okay. So it's taken a bit more time than I would like, but there we go. All right, so it is gone, so it took it, and that then makes it pretty easy to like dump extra in and so forth, and then I can sit there and do what was happening. So when I first came on, if you watched earlier episodes when I did this job previously, I was able to come in here and he had like 5 or 6 bales just laying on top, and then obviously once they consumed and there was room inside, it went ahead and it worked. So see, I'm hoping here, like if I'm careful, no, it's not gonna do it. What I was hoping is I could like somehow grab more than one, but it's just not happening. So rather than try to do stuff, I'll do this, because this works nice, and this is certainly easier. It's also better than rolling the whole thing over. So it's good to discover better ways of doing things on the farm. So we'll see. Like that should be pretty full at some point. So what I can do is just get this, and so the engine's not going, but we're at 45,000, so there's probably a bale in there still chewing up, and then it will, and now it's pouring faster, so like now it consumed the bale. Let me back off of that, because I know it's loud. Well, I suppose I can just, again, let that go, because now I need to just fill this, so. Okay, so it looks like maybe it only took that much hay. So yeah, the hay is full. So at this point, like I can get another 45,000 or probably 40,000 in there, and then that will work. So let me grab the end of this one and pull it away. Now, I'm not sure if this house is part of this farm. I don't know that I paid attention on this map. So let's see. We'll pull this back, then we'll lift it up, because otherwise that's how it tips the bales. And then I just need to get that one. Maybe what I'll do is I'll start grabbing the other straw bales. Now let's see if I pick this up a little bit more, because I almost would rather prefer to grab it that way, but I don't know that I can easily do that. So let me release this. It falls in, because that's the thing, like it nicely falls in there. I just don't know that I'm going to be able to get as nice a thing there as I did coming in from the side. So it's still, again, chewing things up. The spinners are spinning, but usually when it's done, it'll stop. I could be wrong. Alright. So, there we go. So we'll back away. Now we have it, and it's just a question of, can I get this to work nicely and fall in? Because that was the challenge I had, is I couldn't quite make it work at one point. Whoa, a little bit of lag, so it caught me. So if I do this, like, oh, come on, really? Alright, cool. No, wrong way. Alright, so that will do that, and then I can definitely grab 3 more, and basically as I get rid of those bales, then I'll worry about that one that's on the ground. But now at least it doesn't look as sloppy as it did, But in this case, you know, we're going to have a situation where we're going to drop bales in and it's going to take them and leave some of the others because we don't have room for another 24,000. I think the whole capacity of that TMR mixing wagon is 45,000. So these two stacks themselves are 40. Ah, come on. I had it. Oh, no, I'm too high. So let me lower that. Oh boy. So playing around here a bit. Alright, let me drop that. And then we'll pull forward a bit more. No, it's like I'm too high. Alright. Now I should be good. Hopefully. Whoop, now I'm shoving the whole pile. I knew as soon as I started to hit it, I'm like, no, that's going to move things. And, you know, it was already going. I had already messed it up, so. But what I'm getting at is, you know, obviously I had put in the one bale in. Puttin'? Wow, I'm speaking good in English today. But, I had put the one bale in, but obviously we hadn't even emptied the trailer yet. So let's see if I do. Come on. Alright, there we go. Ah, really? Well, I'll have to go grab that and clean it up at some point, but I'll worry about that next time. Alright, so the good news is, now that I know about the magic, like, yeah, that'll help. So we'll definitely be able to tell if it takes the bale, but it probably will not. Let's see. I mean, because right now, whoops, wow, that like really screwed me up. It just threw me on the other side. It's not going to show me the bale at all. So, oh well. Okay, so we have that. So that took a bit. I mean, I will say that was a big morning, but we did some stuff we haven't done before. And now we're in decent shape. You know, mineral feed still take a while to get going. So I think we're good. So let's take a look. All right, field 4. So most importantly, let's see, are these all his? So there's 2, 4 and 5 are ready to harvest. What's 5? Oh, okay, so cool. That's all barley. What's this? Corn? No. Sunflowers? No. Okay, no, it is corn. Alright, so he's got some corn. I swore he said sorghum. Alright, so there are harvesters. My biggest thing is fuel and other stuff. So, got my truck, so there we go. I see it. I see it, I see it, I know what I want. Alright, that's their, like, root crop harvester. Let's see. Alright, I'm totally disoriented on my map, obviously. Alright. Okay, this is what I want. I just can't pick it. So, alright, cool. And we do have 5,000 liters of fuel in here, so that is awesome. But yes, that way I can do what I need, get everything going. So in the interim, while I've been doing the dailies, the owner responded, said I'm really saving him because his work schedule has changed, and so he can't get on in the mornings like he normally would. And then he also says, he's like, I can't even remember the last time I picked up my grass and bales. So I told him, hey, if you need me to do anything, happy to help how I can. Like, I'm available right now, and you know, my schedule could change just as easily as his at some point. So, you know, obviously that can happen at any moment. So, alright. So let me do this, just get everything nice and repaired. So 211 for the header, but 1,000, so still certainly not bad. We'll leave that because I think we're going to need a repair before we're going to need anything else. And kind of if I leave this here, at least I'm out of the way. But then, you know, it can be utilized as needed. So let's again light them up. Let's unfold. Whoops. Oh, I folded the header now. I don't know even what happens with this header. Oh, I see. Okay, because this is one that doesn't have a trailer. So, but no, I wanted. Oh, goodness gracious! Hitting buttons. They're close to each other. The X and the C are right next to each other. All right. Enable the straw swath. That is the big one. All right. So this only has. Oh no, it does have a pipe light. But maybe since I wasn't unfolded, because I'm like, this only has that. So I will say, this is bigger than I thought, because if you look at the map, it's like, oh yeah, it's just this little portion of the field. So just be prepared. If I am able to do all this and I can get to 5, like 5 is massive compared to this. So we're going to have Barleypalooza here. So I'm going to have to try to remember that name. Maybe I'll call the episode that. What do you think? I like it, so I'm going to go with it. Now, I don't want to back off the map. I know I'm near the edge. No? Am I there yet? Alright, I think I'm there. So, let's show the line. Let's get myself lined up. All the fun stuff we gotta do. I don't know if this field has any hiccups. It doesn't look like it does. But there we go. So, enable straw swath, all is good. So here we go. So, but yeah, if I have the time, like I could probably get, because that yellow out in the yonder distance afar, I'm trying to be dramatic, because you know, drama. You need drama in farming simulator videos, right? But anyway, the rolling fields, the amber waves of grain. That's the verses in the song about things like this. So, you know, they're out there, and that's field 5. And so this. Well, alright, so this is the half. I was thinking it was this, and I'm like, my god, this looks like that, but alright. But still, this is this. This is a little bit bigger. It's not a huge amount bigger, so I suppose. But still, I was misthinking in my head. Now, what I want to look at, though, because I did go verify, and he did say sorghum. But he has cotton. Like, where is there any sorghum? Brown. Oh, okay. So there's sorghum there. So we'll see them when we come down here. But then he's got corn and other stuff. But maybe the corn is withered or... No, the corn is just growing. This is also growing. Now, yeah, cotton was harvested, so he's not redoing any cotton. So I am going to now jump off the track here, and we're going to do this. Now what I don't know, because again, I'm having a little bit of flashbacks of FSN here, is beware of straw a thing on the servers here? Alright, I'm just gonna do what I need. I was gonna line up, but I'm gonna hit the trees for sure. So I'm just gonna pop over here and we'll do a little bit, but just to be sure, because I don't know, I'm gonna try to find his baler, and I'm gonna get this picked up before I continue, because the last thing I want to do is waste any of the straw that we've got. And maybe I won't get it picked up, but I'm gonna get it baled. So I'm gonna just run through here, create some bales, because the harvester won't eat the bales, or if it does, at least I can be more careful. Like, I can turn it off and just like shove it around, turn off the header if I need to do it. But so I need to figure out what he's got for baling equipment, and then just run this row and pick it up. So that is what we will do. Alright, we're at 80%, so I would be better off. I don't think there's nowhere I can dump the TMR. It'd be better to have 2 trucks. But what I can do is I can grab that other contraption I have with the wagons and use that on one end, but because this clearly looks like one end of the field to the other, like I need to dump barley now. I can't go back up again, so I'm going to try to do that. So I'm going to put the pipe out. Alright, so this is... Let's see. What kind of trailer is this? So maybe I can use both of these, but we'll worry about that. Whoop, no. Alright, so I want to disconnect from this, and then grab the lizard. Here is lizard. So there's the trailer contraption thing, so the mystery is solved if I need that. But I'm pretty sure this capacity will be higher. And if nothing else, it's easier to maneuver, so I'm going to go ahead. You know, it's easier to do everything with, because when I go bring it back to the silo to dump, for example, I'll be, alright, let me back off, because I'm realizing how loud it is, and I don't have enough hands, so I'm freaking out. I'm like, I want to drive and do whatever, but I can't. Alright, so I need to bring this to the bottom end of field 4. And this is field 5. So, like, those things across the way are the sorghum fields. But this is the end of the barley, the short end, and then there's a part that sticks out beyond the trees. And again, there's going to be some PTSD for me on that field. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it doesn't even look like he sprayed for weeds last time, so there's like a yield loss that he's got and so forth. So there's just a lot. It looks like he's got a planter. I'm assuming that's his. But it looks like he's got a planter there that he obviously probably planted with recently, so might have finished that corn or something, who knows. But that's the corn. Looks very tiny. Knee-high by the 4th of July. I'm not sure that that's where we're at. Oh, this is grass. Never mind. The corn's a little further over, but still. Doesn't look hopeful. But this should be a 150,000 liter trailer. I think that's what these are. I've learned that over time, and that will be good. I just, again, want to be careful. You know what, I probably want to put myself in the center, but I'll move again if I need to. Because I'm like, I need to be able to get to both sides, but obviously I can damage the sorghum crop. So, alright, there we go. So there's the map. You can see that line. That's how thin it is. So 40, maybe. Eyeballing it really, really fast. I think the truck's like touching, but hopefully I won't drag it too long. But yeah, I'm definitely just going to pull forward and turn around and go from there, and then we'll just get... Well, maybe what I'll do, let me just stage everything so then I can just keep going. Alright, so the dump is So that's 150. That's one. They're all 150, and this will take barley and stuff. So let me grab that. So that should be that one. And I think that's the dump trailer. We'll find out, but then these are still that full capacity, so it's as good a trailer to use as any. Just a matter, you know, maybe won't fit well underneath the silo when I go dump it, but we'll see. But yeah, at this point I can put this up. Let me just see, can I go around? I can go up the grass though, so I'll just do that. And again, the grass swath between the fields is honestly probably wider than I think, but I've got like a trailer up north, plus I think I have to go further up because the field sticks out more. So it's this corn that should be, oh yeah, that's knee-high by the 4th of July, for sure. So, if you're like, what the hell is he talking about? It's a phrase that's used. It's just kind of known in the corn land. You know, I really probably should have verified. Yeah, it is grass. Okay. I'm like, I really should verify before I ran into this. I mean, I'm obviously not destroying anything, but yeah, this is like the tasseled grass or whatever. This gets as far as it can get. This, I'm sure, is how you mow, get the hay, and get the other stuff for silage. Because, yeah, there we go. It looks like he's got some fermenting silos. It looks like... Is there more straw over there? Is that his? So, yeah, he looks like he's got plenty. He's like, we don't have straw. What's he talking about? Oh, and there was a truck up here, too. Oh, well. There's stuff everywhere. This is a farm that is stocked up. I'll tell you that. There's no other way to describe it. Like, there is stuff here. So this guy's got a pretty big operation. Alright, I just want to be careful. Can I go around the back of those? I don't think I can and get in, but God, I don't want to run over any crop. So we're going to be really careful here. Okay, and there's fuel and stuff up here, so that's good to know. So I technically didn't need to bring any of that stuff here, but it would have been hard to get to otherwise, so that's alright. So there's a lot going on up here too. So, I don't know. Okay, there's potentially a crap ton of stuff to do on this farm. That's what I'm seeing. Alright, the repair thing's going to be in the way, so I'm going to go move that, because I can already see I'm just going to be fighting that. Now that I know I have the other repair thing, like I can tuck this up here. I won't even really need it, but yeah, we'll leave that there. That'll work for now. Let me just turn it off so that I'm not wasting gas. I'm going to turn this one around and kind of put it where I wanted. But yeah, as you can see, we're at 9%. So, you know, and we knew, I mean, the radions we know are 150. But what I'm saying is if I do, it's going to be kind of 6 1/2 dozen of the other. But if I do this, see, I don't know that I can fit. Probably if I pick up the header, I'll be okay. But I don't know. So, it's all a lot. Took 10 minutes, but, you know, sometimes you got to do that work. Alright, let me try to pick up the header here, so. Alright, so I am just gonna, oh, that's right, I'm gonna pick up the straw, so let me stop this. I need to find a baler. So let's look at these are owned items on this farm. Let's be clear, I'm not looking at the store. So he has all these categories. So like this, I think, is the automatic thing, this auto load. Yeah, so he's got a couple of these actually. And then this picks up round bales. This is what? Okay, so this is a stacker, so I can do round. I mean, he doesn't have round straw, so I'm assuming he does squares. There's bale wrappers. There's balers. All right. So that is... No, I guess it will do square, square. So he's got one that does round. Working 17. They're both 17. That one's 17. So I don't think it really matters. So let me see. Alright, so it's over there. Next to a mower. Alright, so the balers are here. I think that's literally all of them. Yes, it is. I swear he had like a yellow one or something. So which one's which? So this is the New Holland. He's got straw in that. He's got nothing in that. And he's got nothing in that. So in theory, this is what I'll use. And that's the round bale stacker, I think. Alright, so this is... Alright, up there. I just need some tractors. Let's see. We've got a roller. There's just stuff everywhere. Just trying to figure out what we got. Alright, so he's got planters, this, that, and the other. I mean, I'm assuming this is big enough. I'll take this one. I mean, if it can pull that giant roller, this thing's got to have some giddy up and go to it. So I will say, I guess this shows what you can do on Shellbrook. I mean, this is a lot. Oh boy. How much room do I have here on the north end? Like, anytime I get near... this is a map. I can't tell you how many times, because I was an FM on this map, how many times I've fallen off the edge of the map doing stuff. And sometimes, yeah, it was just my own stupidity. I mean, at this point, if I get some lag, I should be okay, because I'm not, like, heading toward the edge. As soon as I get past this corner, I'll be a lot happier. But... yeah, I'd be like harvesting or plowing and plop. Hit a lag spike, can't stop, and it's just bad. So I don't like this map. I mean, just the tension in me, just even coming near that, I can't even explain to you how terrifying it is. It's frankly surprising me a little bit, but... and some of it is because it's not my farm. I mean, I'm using someone else's equipment, and, you know, basically a lot of the times I lost it because I didn't own fields up here. See, but this is the thing. Like, thank God at least that has the back, because I've got lag, and I'm backing in, and I had a jerk, and it's like I could hit equipment and just shove it over the edge, and not even mean to. I mean, talk about insanity. Alright, can I get past the pole? Alright. Let's get out of here. Oh boy. What now? Really? Is it moving? It looks like it is. Just need to get clear of that darn pole. Come on. It's crawling, but it's taking way too long to go that little bit. Come on. That's what I want to do. I want to grab this bale, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away for a bit, because I want to eat my breakfast. So I'm going to do that while I then keep harvesting the barley, and then we'll come back. But I don't want to stop and not do stuff, you know, because that would be a waste of time. Oh, look at that. It's automatically trying to move over. Alright, well, this is grass, so I can be a little different here. Yeah, this is a crazy operation, I'll tell you. Like, there'd be a ton to do here. It's not as interesting, I think, as what Lomeric has got, but there's still a lot. Alright. But this is very clearly straw. We've got 164 liters. So rather than, again, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? So that's absolutely what's happening here. So I'm going to get over here. I'm just, like, so nervous about running over crop, whatever, because I know what lag can do. It's just ugly. Alright. Oh, I need to unfold the baler. Okay. And I've used, maybe not this exact baler before, but I've used these balers for sure. So, these type of balers is what I mean. So if I haven't used this exact one, you know, it is what it is there, but so we're going to come down here. The biggest challenge we're going to have, obviously, is hitting the end. So we're going to see. I mean, we should get 8,000 liters, because obviously those are the bales we were picking up and putting in. Or, no, actually, alright, 9,000 for straw. And, again, these hold a lot, so you can see, like, we're not even seeing a bale. It's finally starting to peak out. You can see it slipping forward. And so we're going to get another bale done, and then we're going to go into our third bale before the first bale falls off. There is something oddly satisfying about baling. I do actually. This is a job I do enjoy. I don't know. It's just you're cleaning up this mess on the field. You got these little square blops that fall out. Again, I try really hard to use the technical terms, so they are called blops in farming. Yeah, I wish. So I'm leaving things all over. I'm going to have some cleanup, but this is the danger then. And partially why it's like, yeah, let's just get this done, because otherwise who knows what it'll turn into. Eek. Well, I guess we'll be able to verify if there's beware of straw, because we're obviously leaving a little bit, and so that'll be my test. So we'll do that. So if beware of straw is on the map, what will happen is when I'll hit those, I will... oh boy. Why is that happening? I guess I didn't think I was manually running this, but I mean, I don't have this set to GPS, so I suppose that's the other piece, is I could set myself a line so that in the future I can use it, but somehow, I mean, I have a line set, but you can clearly see the straw swath did not stay. I wasn't running a line here. Who am I kidding? That's right, I was just driving. So, but anyway, alright. So we got those. Now we can get out of the way. We'll stop that. I don't want to go too far, because now if I drop that bale, because I don't have access to that land, I think that bale we'd lose. I might be able to shove it around, but I'm not sure. And I guess I'd honestly rather not find out. So, oh, what am I doing? I need to go forward. I'm like turning around, like the field's behind me. No, idiot. You've already put yourself where you need to be. Alright. So, we're going to do this. I don't know. I'm also wondering if I can go an extra. Let me see. Let me look at this. Alright. So I'm going to back this up. So what I've done, per what I learned on Schwag's farm, with GPS here, you're able to actually go an extra... well, now I'm really going to know if there's a beware of straw, so... doesn't look like it. So that's good. Alright. So I guess I need to be less worried about that, because with that, like, the straw would be... I don't know that it would vanish entirely, but it would definitely go down, like, visibly. Because what it would do is a header could suck up straw, and then you basically lose it. You'd ruin it. So the nice thing is this moves it over. But what I learned on the other farm is that with these headers, or with anything, you could go an extra ½ meter and you know, still be in good shape. So yeah, I'll go up this way, and then I'll do that little bit, because yeah, we did move over 2 rows now that I think about it, but there's no point in starting lower. Again, the bales may be in my way, like here I'm just missing it, but so I will do that tap dance as I go. But at this point, I'm going to do what I said. Now that we've baled and you've seen that little bit, I'm going to step away for a bit. I'm going to eat my breakfast. I'm going to keep working. And so the dancing around the bales I'm going to need to do, and I may not need to, because this may be the first bale that dropped. Because like you can see, 2 bales there, we should be able to see another bale. So by the time we had 3 bales, we may have gotten this far. But anyway, I will go ahead and do this, and I'll start working the field, eat my breakfast, and then I will be back and we'll chat some more, and I'll give you some more farming simulator for a bit. So I will see you in a bit.
You'll win somehow, so give up on the bottom, baby. It's hard, I know. Let the music take over, baby. I know your doubts, but it's wide open ocean, baby. Let sun pour down. We can dance in the light, oh baby. Heartbreaker, dream maker, let go of your problems and look at all your smiling friends. Jailbreaker, earthquaker. Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more?
I am back. I've eaten my breakfast. Grumpiness won't be coming. Not really one of those that gets grumpy if I don't eat. I suppose if I didn't eat for a long time I might, but go around the bale here. So I'm going to keep you with me for a little bit longer. Again, obviously, you can always just stop the video or do whatever if you're sick of me, but hopefully you've just come to enjoy my weird quirkiness, and you're just gonna hang out regardless of how long I make anything, because I'm just fun, and you just want to be part of the fun. But what I'm going to do, because I think it's going to take a little bit to turn around, in the meantime, while I was eating, I had gone ahead and run across the top. I'm now going to go ahead and run across the... Well, do I need to? Yeah, you know, I think I do. Because I think that will avoid then the sorghum problem I had of like, hey, I can't get on the other side, because that'll give me a lot more room down here to do what I need. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run out and back, hopefully out and back. I don't think I can get all the way back, but I can then, you know, come and run. Well, I won't even be able to run all the way here. I just realized. Silly me. So let me do this, pick this up. We'll spread the straw a little bit, and hopefully it won't be too bad. I need to empty this, because I'm already at 60%, for goodness sake. I mean, whoop, I'm going to hit that truck. That would be unpleasant. You know, again, I still want to not be playing this like arcade farm simulator. It's still farm simulator. So we want to be semi-realistic here. So even though I don't have Beware of Straw, for example, I'm still trying to avoid things. It just seems sloppy. But what I'm going to do is run all of this, and then I'm going to bale it. Then I'm just going to start running. So I'm going to keep you through. I think my thought is I'm going to go ahead and keep you through doing the work, because what I'm also going to do is I am going to I'm going to pick up the bales as well, and figure out where I need to put them. So then we'll have gone through kind of the whole cycle. I'll have explored the equipment we've got available to us, and then you'll know what I'm doing for the next 50 hours of my life. No, it's not going to be that long, but there's a lot here. I think, and some of it was obviously the daily stuff, but I mean, it was pretty darn near midnight when I started here. We're already an hour and a half in, so I know I've got probably an hour and a half video, but again, obviously I cut a few things out, when I was just driving around and whatever as I was eating breakfast. Didn't keep that and so forth, but we will go through there. But that is my plan, so I will kind of keep you through running these couple headlands, so that'll be the last part of the harvest. You'll see I'll then bale all this straw that I've cut, and then I will pick up the bales and put them away in, I assume, the bale stores, or I could probably just bring them down, I suppose, to the farm. But I don't know that we're supposed to leave that many bales out, so that's the other thing. I know the rules are similar, like, hey, try to limit loose bales everywhere, but obviously we've got a bunch of things stacked on the farm, and it just may be expediency that they've gone ahead and done that. And I think to some degree it's a little bit, that's where it differs from FSN, where I don't think there's wardens. There was a position called wardens in FSN that would basically be like the rule police. And, you could file a report through the support ticket to people like, hey, I was on this server and I saw this and it made me cry. Can you please go look at it? But I think here it's one of those, like, if your server's running and it's not causing massive problems, I think they're a little bit more like, sure, do what you can do. So there is, I suppose, depending on how focused you want to be, OCD, I suppose, might be the PC way of explaining it. That, hey, I'm doing it and I'm following everything to the letter of the law or whatever, because it's the same type of thing. I mean, I think I've seen some folks, I haven't seen them do it, but I've certainly seen tracks on maps where, again, we're not supposed to run through anybody's field that isn't ours or without permission or whatever, but I've certainly seen tracks where people have done that on the non-owned fields, and so that's a similar rule between both communities. It's just you could get fined and so forth in FSN, and here I think, I mean, they do have the ability, or that you could get banned, but I think you'd have to really be pretty egregious to create some significant problems here. And so I do feel it's a little less petty with, hey, we're gonna get upset because you did this, that, or the other thing. I understand you need rules in the community, you want fairness, but I think because they've made the economy as challenging as they have, and some of the other things, like, I think they try to keep the focus on things that really make sense and would matter, as opposed to simply just trying to be draconian with rules and so forth. So let's be careful. I'm not sure I'll make it to the end. It's 14,500. It's going to be really close, so I'm going to get off cruise. I might just not make it. Yeah, look at that. I just didn't make it. Sadness. Alright. But I'll go here, I'll then come back and clean that little bit up, but we'll get the harvester off the field when I do that. And then we'll go and jump and do the baling, like I said. Because you know where the silo is, so, you know, where I've been grabbing this stuff is obviously where I'm going to go put this barley. And, you know, then I'll go from there. But my big focus today, and why I'm trying to do this, is tomorrow is going to be May on the farm on server 4 with Lomeric. That is kind of my official big farm hand gig. So I need to give him time, especially since I haven't given him any time. And so, you know, the direction I've gotten from Nav here is, you know, hey, his work thing is just all messed up again. In the Discord, he kind of said, hey, you're really saving me, because like he normally would be on now, like I am, but with whatever changed with his work, he can't do that right now. So I think he was just like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have my farm totally fall apart because I won't be able to do anything. So it sounds like whatever happened is not anything that was foreseen for sure. So, alright, so I'm going to do this, and then we're going to hop over here. I'm going to make a gentle curve, because once again, I'm in no man's land where, in theory, I don't have access. So what I don't want to do is lose that bale, because then it may say, no, you cannot pick it up, and that would be bad. Alright, not sure where I want to set this, because this just does not look right. But we're going to try that, and I'm going to turn this on, and I'm probably going to have to dance a bit here. So see, like immediately that bale fell, so I knew there was a lot going on. So this is the challenge we've got here is, you know, when you finish a row, so I'm trying very hard to not leave the kind of bubbles at the end. I don't know what else to call them, you know, where you stop and then it just keeps pouring straw out the back. Alright, so let me see. So I probably, just to be safe, we'll move it over. Whoops, I hit the home key. I didn't mean to do that. All that does is basically sets the track online where you are right now. I'm not sure why that happened, but it did. So I should be okay. Yep, I don't have any straw. But at this point, obviously, I ran up and down the field. But this will be really the only thing I can do straight. And the next row down, I can do that. But the headers on each end are going to be hand-driven, so there's going to be a bit of slop there as well. So, you know, I'll probably need to just quickly come through, touch things up. I mean, you know, little bleps of straw like that, again, that technical farm term, the bloops, blops, whatever. You know, I don't know that they matter, but like here where I turned and I've got hunks, you know, those are going to be hundreds of liters that are laying around. And across the whole field, that we probably have hundreds of liters. But like coming back down this row, like then I turned, you know, again, driving that manually is going to be challenging. The one saving grace may be because it was not a full header width of barley, that there's just going to be a less dense swath of straw there to pick up, and so hopefully my baler header can do a better job of picking that up. How did it miss some again? See, this is what I mean. Like, I mean, I'm covering it according to the width, like this should be the working width, but yet somehow it left a little bit. I just don't understand, you know, how that's working, but that's what it's doing in any event. And then up here I did turn a little bit, so, but I think there's a lot here. It's one of those, I mean, I'm certainly going to give it the good old college try, because as I said, like right now, I didn't... like, that's a lot. And I want to go fix... Oh, this is going to be a disaster because I'm going to get stuck on the bale. Come on. I want to get back to the straw. This is just terrible. Alright. Now it's not going to go, right? No, it is. Alright. It should... Oh, and it's not picking it up because it was higher. Oof. Can't win for losing. So basically, I think the baler was elevated because of how it was sitting on that bale that I backed over. But so once again, kind of sloppy. I'll turn around and just pick that up right now. So there are these challenges. I mean, this is the part of baling that does get to be a little bit frustrating. Like, I am using a line and all, and it's not working, which really shouldn't be the case. Like, it should be working really, really well. You know, and this, once again, I'm used to because obviously the baler working with is very different than anything else. It should hopefully line up and pick everything up. But yeah, the amount of stuff that we're going to get off of this is probably going to be insane. And so I may go ahead as much as I can, because again, it's not my own farm. I don't have tracking material as much, but I'm sure you guys would be interested in what comes off of this. But because I have an open day, I didn't even bother looking at player contracts. I think I looked last night. Maybe I did look this morning, because obviously I knew it was still going to be a day, but I think anything that was out was already taken, but I think that was last night, so I don't know how much really is there today. But I've had nobody else that I've worked for ping me or anything, so, you know, this is the reality now that I'm trying to figure out as I work here. You know, am I going to have times where I'm just really down? And once again, you know, not signing on per se to 3 or 4 farms to commit, because this is what you run into sometimes on these large operations. I would not be surprised, like if I can give 12 hours today, which I may be able to do, because once again, it's the nice thing and kind of what allows it to work as you are doing other things, which again allows me to do what I need to do for my actual job as I work from home, is like once I turn around and set the barley, you know, set the harvester, like it runs to the end of the field and it takes 3-4 minutes. And so I've got 3-4 minutes that I can do something. And, you know, since the role I have is, for the most part, kind of task-based and so forth, you know, it's easy. It's not like I have to give intense focus for 2 straight hours or something. I mean, I'm not in a lot of meetings, which is a massive blessing, as I think anybody in the who's worked in an office job will tell you. Like, just the amount of inane meetings where nothing happens other than you're sitting around listening to someone drone on about something that at the end is not honestly that important. You know, you've probably heard it in the previous meeting. They're just recapping the status, whatever it is. There's just so much wasted time in corporate America to make it seem like people are important and you're busy and you're doing whatever, but it's just rework. And it's like, if we would just focus on, okay, here's the task. It kind of becomes the old, you know, when people had like the organizational plans and they'd give you like do an A, B, and a C pile of your papers, and like your A pile, then just turn around and attack right away and just get those done, because those are the urgent and important tasks. They didn't really use that terminology at that point when this kind of stuff, you know, but it was kind of a time management technique. And then the B's were kind of, all right, you finish the A's, and these are things you need to do, but there's less urgency. And then the C's were basically like, put those in the garbage. Like, you don't need to do these things at all. They're not even worthy of your time. And, you know, it's just that kind of version. Like, you know, if you, yeah, and in that there was always this striving, like, strive to touch a piece of paper only once, so that when you pick that item up, like, complete whatever the task is that is required with that thing, and then you're done, and move on. And so either send it on to the next person, or file it away, or, you know, if it was just some entry thing that, like, you know, I needed this information on that, but now that I've recorded that information wherever it is that I've recorded it, I no longer need that piece of paper, then throw it out. You know, but don't handle things 4 or 5 times like people do. Is, you know, they'll put them in stacks, they'll move them around, they'll shuffle their stacks around, they'll start, you know, putting little color-coded tabs on their stacks. You know, it's like, how many times are you going to handle things versus just do stuff and get it done? And then, you know, you'd be amazed how little time you need to do most jobs. You know, certainly, yes, if you're an assembly line worker, if you're whatever, where there's just a constant flow of tasks coming across in front of you, and it's never ending, and you're making hundreds or thousands of those tasks in a day. You know, that's different, but that's not what office jobs typically are. You're going to get, you know, maybe you get all the bill of lading or all the invoices in the morning, and you just need to process them. But each of those pieces of paper is still a task. So, for example, then if I'm doing what I'm doing here, like, you know, maybe in those 3 or 4 minutes, I could process 2 or 3 invoices. And then, okay, now I need to turn the harvester around. Okay, now I process 2 or 3 more. I mean, that's the nice thing with, you know, a kind of a, I think the term I've heard used, certainly somebody in Discord that I was chatting with, we, you know, talked about it a little bit. They said, you know, they like this sim because it's kind of chill. You know, and it is. It's one of those, like, this isn't a first-person shooter. This isn't Halo. This isn't Call of Duty, modern, you know, stuff like that, where when you're playing it, like, it needs your whole focus. There are just kind of like the office jobs we were talking about. There's significant kind of downtime in Farming Simulator. Once you lock that harvester on a GPS line, you know, hell, even this baler, once I'm done and everything's set, like, I just send it up and down the field, and I can turn away and do something else for a few minutes on large fields like this. I mean, heck, even driving at full speed with this thing, it's going to take me 30 or 40 seconds to get to the other end of the field. So, again, like, short periods like that, it's usually not incredibly effective use of the time. So, you know what, I just realized I'm going to use this run down here to kind of clean up the little bits I've got, and then, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I may have missed a few up there, but I'm not sure that I did, because I think that initial run was actually pretty clean. It just kind of had some stuff down here, like, that I'm grabbing, but that way at least I've picked up all the extraneous straw, I believe, and that is a good thing. So we're going to run these 2, and then that's the baling I'm going to show you for today, for this episode, and then you'll have gotten the full baling flavor of what I'm doing to help nav out or do the job. Again, this may become like, you know, suddenly with what he shifted, it may be like, well, you know, if you're available, just do stuff, and I'll, you know, tell me, because again, that's kind of what he did today. Like, get as much of this done as you can and tell me what time you spent, and that will be it. Where otherwise, with what happened to him, like, if I wasn't around and didn't have some familiarity, like, there could be a potential problem. Because depending on what he is, I mean, I know sometimes those periods of intense focus that people have, and I don't know that he's worked from home, but I think he just maybe has to go in earlier, which is why he can't use the early morning time that he used to do, is what he said is the problem, that his work schedule has changed. So, but you've got those periods of intense focus where he may not even have time to put up a contract. So I think that's where he's feeling a little bit more comfortable, because he knows that I've done stuff. He's obviously come and looked and seen what I've done, so he's built that comfort of, all right, this guy knows what he's doing, he's reliable. I can just give him general direction and he can figure it out. So, but all that said, with the timing, like, that's why I potentially can devote 12 hours to this, because I started early. I start really early in the day, and again, as I mentioned, my screwed up phone this morning, I probably started half an hour earlier than I normally would anyway. It just happened to work out that at least I was past midnight here, and I had avoided the midnight rollover that does double. I guess the only comment I have there, I did have that happen. Like, there was another server with Swag where they take advantage of the fact that there's that double. Because again, the guidance here is, he said, well, don't run over the midnight time, because in essence, the animals consume double the feed and do whatever, like it messes things up, and he didn't have enough, barley and feed and whatever to do that. But on the flip side, like on Schwag's thing, if you remember a few episodes ago, I said he was standing around, and so one of the FMs said, yeah, he intentionally stays logged in over midnight, so he's not in there, so that he does get that doubling, and they understand, like, yes, it uses double the supplies and whatever, but you then get double the output as well, and so they're like, you make money, like, you're making money on cows producing milk or chickens producing eggs or whatever. So if you get twice as many eggs, like, that's twice as good. Oh, come on, I'm going to have the same problem. It's going to lift off the ground, and maybe not, because it never got out of the back there. But, and again, this is a manual drive, so there was definitely probably a little bit of shifting around. Like, there's no way to really duplicate the path perfect. This is going to be a mess. I can just see it already. But I think I'm just going to go, and then, if I can avoid that, where there's one on each side, then it's just turn around and clean it up. But now I've got a little bit more slop there, so I'm going to get the loose one first. And then we'll come back and get the line, so you can see it's 41.29. I'm thinking we're going to get at most 30 liters off of this. There you go. 32. Almost kind of wrong, but not really. Alright, so now I will do this, and now I need to go figure out how I pick up bales, and then where I put them. So I think where I put them is back here. So yeah, square bale. It did look like squareable to me, and I'm sure you can understand why. Square bale, straw storage. So absolutely go there. I don't think, oh, there is some there, but so the question ends up, let me look at this. Okay. I don't know. These are all his? Doesn't really say. But I'm like, if these are all his, because my question is, like, I assume, like, I can't go to someone else's farm and do something, can I? So, like, here. Like, I can see it, but can I interact with it? No, because I'm not on his farm. So, like, those are his straw storages. So, wait, did I? Oh, okay, there. But he's like, we don't have any straw. Like, you have all this. You have tons of straw. What do you mean? So, I'm confused. And yeah, these are his TLC farms. So, I don't know. So I don't need any down here, so I guess I'll just put them up here. But maybe that's the thing. It's like bringing them over, there just isn't enough. But, so I think here is where I had, yeah, this looks like that square bale thing. So I'm gonna use this, and it shows a square bale down below. So I'm feeling comfortable that this is what I need. And at this point, because we have the lower end of field 4, I turned away for a second and then turned back. So again, sometimes that doing a couple different things looked, I'm like, oh, and all I was honestly doing was checking the time because I'm hearing folks moving around upstairs, and was like, oh, is it time for the family to wake up? Because usually I step away for a minute or two, say good morning to folks, and go from there. But no, it's not, so it's probably one of the kids waking up to walk the dog in the morning. So, not quite the time where I would step back. Now, I want to see what this is, because this is showing up as ready to be... Oh, it's oilseed. Okay. Because it's showing up as ready for harvest, and that's why I'm like, I don't understand. It's at the end of the corn. I'm not quite sure why they didn't plant corn all the way down there, but for some reason they didn't. Yeah, all I had done was turn away to look at a clock that I have off to the side, and suddenly I realized, oh my god, I'm headed for the field. Alright, so, yep, this works just the same way. So again, I've not used this particular one. This does not look like one I've used, but it's similar process. So now I should just pull up on the bale and... whoops, alright. So let's see. It's in that, so I think I just pull up and it'll just pick it up and do it. There we go. Alright. So I'm half tempted to just kind of meander here, because that way I don't have to come back. I don't have to go through this twice. Alright, we got some lags, so that's going to be a problem. Alright, so this is a bit typical, but yet not. Like it, I would have expected it to move it back differently than it did, and it's also not vertical right now. So the one I'm used to, like, would do that, but then once it put it up, it would take it and then it would shove it all the way to the back, and then come forward. So it took a little bit of time sometimes, especially as you started, because it had to travel all the way from the back of the trailer, where this just seems to stack it that way. So we'll see. It's 2 bales at a time, so that 3 bale stack is not off of this, I guess. So, not sure, but you can see. So we've got 6 bales, 42%. So I don't know if it's a 16 bale stacker. Probably is. I'm not sure this is going to work from the direction I'm at. It may. Some of these are a bit more forgiving. Alright, there we go. It did turn it. You know, and that's the kind of stuff that I think is reasonable within a simulation. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say that we're not, you know, that it's become arcadey at that point. You know, and that's where some people, when they're really going for the intense realism, are like, you know, I have to approach the bale at the right angle. I have to turn it if I can, you know, and if you want to play that way, that's fine. And sometimes I want to play that way. But I also know I don't want that to be my main gameplay, because then you're spending so much time on minutia that you're not making progress, and it just gets a little bit like, alright, this is too much. So this is going to be a bit challenging now with the bales. You know, they do stagger, because I'm like, if they stay this way, then maybe I'll just run some rows. But they don't, so... And this may be it, so it may just be a 14 14 bale load. But I've also not used those particular bale stores, so yes, so this is it. Now let me look on their material again. So the bale loaders. See, I wonder, well, that's the auto load, which again I assume is what we're using. Because I'm like, could you? Yeah, but this, it says it's a bale loader, but so, and these don't do square, so this is it, but I don't understand then what is putting it in stacks of 3 like he got over to the farm. So alright, so I'm going to put this in transporting position because it lets me go a little quicker too, but this is also then part of why I wanted to cut the headlands, especially up here, because you know how tight it was over by this silo and whatever. But like now I can freely move around the field and there is less of this panic and trepidation that I'm going to damage crop or other things are going to happen. So there's some greenhouses, there's a sprayer. So at this point, because like I don't know what I'll get asked to do, just getting familiar with stuff a little bit is helpful for sure. But yeah, like what I don't know is how those stacks of 3 happen. Oh goodness. How do you get stuff in the bale storage here? See, so I'm thinking, let me go look at these now that like we can operate. So this is just square bale. Okay, so this is just extract bales. So if I do that, alright. See, but my thing is, but then where is the load point? Is it here? No, what is this? Okay, this is the biomass plant, so. Alright, and that just shoves things around. So what I'm used to is then you're going to unload the bales. So I'm going to try this one that's over here that's a little bit more open. Because obviously, trying to back in or whatever, like I think those other things are... Okay, we got someone sinking in Cold River Farms. Not someone I've ever run across, so I do not know them at all. So what I'm used to is, now you'll do unload and it'll basically stack this up. It'll turn it vertical. And so we'll see how this all will work. Now those bottom bales are like still crooked. So it's a little weird that way. Alright. And then unload bales here. Alright, so it's not taking them. So I want to go forward. So now if I lower the loading platform, that then lets me go get more. But yeah, so I'm used to then this would just take them in at that point and it would load them in. But it's obviously not doing that. So this is not a load point. So it might be that that is a load point. So this is what I don't know. Alright. Well, I'm going to try this here, and I'm probably going to make a mess of these bales. But this is the learning curve. Like, I've not used these. And yes, I'm used to... So, if I pick this up... Oh boy. Alright, well... Because it just thinks I have one. But then... If I put them in there... Is that what I need? God, this could be a disaster. I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, okay, it's taking them now. So, let me put that down. Alright, so it took that. Let me straighten this out. The question is, what do I do with those up there now? There we go. Alright. Alright, so that helps. Because, yes, if I lower that and then just leave it, it's just not taking it. Come on. There we go. Alright. So, but what I can do then, let me see. I'm going to try. This might not be the most orthodox way to do it, but I'm going to try this. Because basically, what I want to do is push them in that direction and then kind of just shove them in where I need. And so if I can like slide the pile, but this way I'm not spearing anything, I'm just sliding the whole pile, and I can then move them in. So there we go. Like, I think it took one at the bottom, because it looks like if you get kind of close, it kind of works. Alright, well, I grabbed one of those, so that's okay. And then again, I just want to turn that, and if I back away, like I assume, there we go. It'll do that, and then now I just need to shove these in. So basically what I want to do is back in there, which is okay. I mean, that it's going to be challenging, but it's not earth-shatteringly impossible. So I'm just going to shove these like over here. Some of these may just grab, but if they don't, so yeah, it took the one you saw, and then I'll just shove these others in that direction, and then it will put them in. And so that's what you want to be doing. And so again, 14 bales, 9,000 a bale, so we're obviously just short of 140,000. And now when I back off, we should be good. And I'll lower this fork back down. And then, you know, I'll pick this up a bit because it's not letting me turn. And then I'll put myself at least back on that pad. It was obviously facing the other way, but, you know, so this helps you clean things up, but I don't technically need this to do stuff. So there we go. So now I'll head back, we'll pick up the other bales, and so now at least I understand how those work, and that's just part of what you do in farming simulators. You're just kind of learning how the particular items work. So the question is, do I have enough room here without hitting the crop? I should be okay, it looks like. And so now I'll go grab the rest of the bales, and I probably won't have enough, but you know, then I'll just be backing in or whatever, and we'll see what way I determine is the quickest way to do this. But this shouldn't be too terribly difficult to get done now, and now at least I understand. And this bale handler is frankly easier. Like those arms opening up at the end like that, they're just a lot, they work better than what I was used to. But yeah, so we've got what, 90, 36, so it's 126,000. Yeah, that would make sense, because we're losing 14,000 because it's 9,000, not a 10,000 liter bale. So yeah, 126,000 liters of straw already. And then obviously, you know, we've got 6 more here. We've got several more that are laying there. So we're going to get to 10 or more for sure. And then, yeah, because it looks like we just have 5. So we'll get 11 here. And then we'll go from there, but you know, I'll put the baler on the side. I went too far. Sometimes you do that, and that's what happens. Come on. Oh, goodness. Alright, well. It's the old John Wooden statement that I always push forward with folks. Be quick, but don't hurry. So, I hurried, and then that's what caused me the problem. Things get sloppy, things mess up when you are quick and hurrying, because you're just not deliberate about making sure that what you expect to happen is what is happening. But yeah, this will get me 11, so I need 3 more bales to fill this. It makes no sense to go over with an empty bale load trailer. Again, you understand what I'm doing. It's just a question of, are we going to fill all the straw? And my guess is we will. Because at this point with 11, we've got, what, 90,000 again, 99,000. So we're at over 200,000 liters of straw, and you can see how little of the field we've harvested. But at this point, I am going to let you go. This again is quite long. Hopefully people are enjoying this. We're definitely at the point now, being into double-digit episodes. Like, you want me to do something, show it a different way, drop a comment. You want to just acknowledge that, hey, what I'm doing is terrific, drop a comment. I mean, I don't know what people are thinking if you don't tell me. But, so if you want me to just show you what I'm doing, and as long as I am talking, just keep recording and just give it to you, I will keep doing that. Because as I've always said, especially on any of these, whether I'm doing single player, multiplayer, I'm on here doing it. It's recording on its own. It's not any extra work for me other than the little bit of editing at the end. And if it's just throwing out a video that I've been talking at, there's not much work there. I mean, I'll cut things out here and there, like when I ate my breakfast, but for the most part, the biggest thing is putting in some chapter headings. But I think for this one, because it was just a bunch of work, it's just going to be one big chapter heading of different work, but I'll probably divide it out so that if people want to see the harvesting, the baling, and the bale collection here at the end, definitely I'll break that up. But at this point, you know what I'm going to be doing. What I will do, though, is, unless I forget, because I've done this on a couple videos, and so I apologize ahead of time if I do, and this ends up being the end because I forget to come back in. But I would think at this point, because of how big this is going to be, you're as curious as I am of where this is going to end up. So I will come back on, because initially I was like, well, if I finish it all, I'll let you know. But either way, it's probably worth letting you know, and hey, I didn't finish it, and show you, hey, this is what's left. I certainly anticipate I will finish this field. I just don't know that I'm going to have time to finish all of Field 5, but I am going to do my darndest. I absolutely will try. But some of this should go a little quicker, because now I can just focus on the jobs. Like, I can do all the harvest. I can then, I might have to do a little bit of picking up again, because I'm probably going to have to run some headlands, although maybe I don't, because I think the cotton field north of 5 is obviously doesn't have anything on it, so I can turn around, and obviously south of 5 is, I think, our field. Yeah, this would be the only thing, but this is also our field. Or no, it's someone else's, but it looks like it's plowed, so unless they suddenly have something growing on there today, like, I don't know if the FM that just joined is that, or maybe whoever it is will join. But if I can just run up and down, I may not run any headlands there. I mean, there may be some things I need to here, but for the most part, I think it might be clear. So if I don't have to run any headlands, I literally would harvest everything, then I'd come back and bale, then I'd come back and pick up. So, and again, if I know I'm running short of time, I may divert, because what I don't want to do is leave bales laying all over the place. I mean, it's bad enough leaving straw swath laying all over the place, but right now, my intent is, if I can get this done, I'm going to get it done. Just like when I worked on, oh, I hope I can finish a row, because that would really suck if I can't. Oh boy, this is going to get really, really close here. Holy bejeez. Like, that is as close as I can possibly get. Now, I don't like that pile, but I didn't want to destroy what I was doing. But so you can see, it's going to be fun, and if I have one little bit off, I mean, I have 47 liters to spare. That's not a lot with something as prolific as barley, because again, one run up the field, I'm getting a full harvester. And that's because I cut 2 headlands. So that may be that what happens on field 5 too. I may be like, you know, I need to cut several across so that I can then get a row and I'm not moving trucks all the time, because if I can just keep doing what I'm doing here, that will be quicker than any other alternative. So all that said, I will return at the end to just summarize what happened through the day and give you that. And I'm pretty sure, just as when I did, you know, 14 and 13 for swag and did all those soybeans, pretty sure this will be my farming simulator for the day for FOC. I don't think I'm going to suddenly be like, let me go find a contract and let me do other work. So this will be what I'm doing. And then next episode, we'd be focusing on planting cotton for Lomeric, and then, you know, that may be short enough that there may be a couple things that happen, but depending on how much I cover in the cotton planting, it could still create multiple episodes in one day like I've done before. So instead of like talking ahead and then again spending another 15 minutes going, that's the plan. I'm going to be doing barley, but I will be back at the end to just give you a quick wrap-up. So I will see you in a bit. So this is it. I did not do everything. I did what I could. I have been on pretty much constantly. I took a little bit of a break, but 11 hours about of work. So, I'm shellbrooked out for a bit, I'll tell you that. I mean, again, I'd get in here and do it. Again, it's just work. It doesn't really matter what the map is, but this took a bit. So I got about half. I kind of got 5 done through kind of where it got deeper over in the past the BGA. So if you look at the map here, I basically did it to this point, so a third of it maybe. So this was left, and so we've still got. Actually, no. Okay, I thought he finished it, but it was confusing to me when I looked at the map. So the owners here, USMC Nav, and you know, went ahead and used AI, and he got all the other stuff done. But so I got 16 balers full, or bale wagons full, plus 10 more, I think. If I counted everything right, it's possible I missed one. Might have missed 2. I don't know. So, if I calculated right, 3,674,000 liters of straw. So, a lot. So, I think we were down to 1 million there. But that is it. So, that is it for this episode, and I will see you next time.